What's going on, everyone? Kieran O'Brien here, back at you with a brand new video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how I took my social media marketing agency, my digital agency, from $0 to $50,000 a month in recurring revenue in 6 months. All right. Now, this is something that I really wanted to talk about for a long time. Obviously, this is actually my second digital marketing agency. You guys have kind of been following along. My first digital marketing agency was called Geared Social. My new one is called Shop Accelerator, and I actually still have both, right? Geared Social was a more boutique marketing firm, and it did get up to $50,000 a month, but it took a lot longer. And I want to tell you guys and share with you guys some of the things that I learned building Shop Accelerator to $50,000 per month a lot quicker than I did my last agency, because there's a lot of things that are different when you're scaling a company of any kind, whether it's a marketing agency or an e-commerce brand or whatever it is. There's a lot of things that you learn doing it a lot quicker like that. That's a lot different than scaling like more of a boutique firm. One thing I do want to talk about is how we actually got to 6 figures. We got to 6 figures in like 7 or 8 days. So we got to $8,000 a month in like about a week, which was pretty crazy. And so one of the things that we learned actually getting to 6 figures in a week was that things break. And it was actually Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook who said, "Move fast and break things." That was one of his quotes during the early days of Facebook. And so it really does hold true. We've broken a lot of things as we've been scaling Shop Accelerator. When I say we, I'm talking about my business partner, Caden, and I, who you guys actually will see in my next YouTube video. We're filming one right after this. And so I just want to talk about kind of what it took to get to $50,000 a month and a lot of the things that you need to be focused on if you want to scale a marketing agency or any business from $0 to $50,000 a month in 6 months or less. All right, now the first thing is you need to find a niche that you can actually genuinely serve and that you enjoy. All right, for us, we serve automotive shops at Shop Accelerator. That's what we do. That's the niche that we identified. There was a big opportunity. There was an underserved market. There was a skill set that myself and my business partner had that we knew we could use to serve this community, and that's why we started the company, right? And that's a lot of the same principles that you guys need to take into account. Don't just go and do dentists or do chiropractors because some guy on YouTube told you to, right? You need to identify a properly underserved market that you feel genuinely that you can provide value to. That's the most important thing when picking a niche. Now, the next thing is you need to design a productized and scalable product, right? Now, you might be saying, Kieran, marketing agencies don't have products, they have services, right? Now, you're right, but your service needs to be productized. So you need to be able to sell a service almost as if it is a product, right? That's the most important thing moving into 2021, 2022, as people are starting to understand how digital marketing works, especially business owners. What you are selling is a solution to their problems, not some marketing retainer that they're going to view more as an expense than an investment. That's why it's very important to productize your services and make sure that it's a scalable business, right? And so for us, that meant that every single time we have a rinse and repeat product, right? A rinse and repeat process where we know we sign up a new client, they go through a very standardized set of systems and processes, and then they're onboarded and they're getting results. And so that's the most important thing to be able to scale to $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 per month in revenue, which we're on track to do. You need to have those things in place. Now, the next thing is building a sales team, okay? You can't do all the sales yourself. I would say around $50,000 per month is when you need to start kind of outsourcing your sales, and not outsourcing, but bringing on team members, sales team, closers, and appointment setters full time. Right? And this is something that we've done recently that has helped tremendously with our scaling. Once you get to $50,000 a month, that's usually between 30 and 50 clients, depending on how much you're charging, right? When you're managing 30 to 50 clients on the operations side and the client fulfillment side of things, and to get to $50,000 a month in the first place, you usually probably have to do at least 3 to 5 sales calls per day with prospects. That's not something that you can realistically do all by yourself as the founder of the company. So this is one of the most important things that we did at Shop Accelerator, which was bringing on a sales team, bringing on closers that can actually get on the phone with a prospect and close them on your services without you having to be involved. Now, the most important thing about building a sales team is it actually doesn't cost you money up front. You need to find people that are hungry, they're going to work on a commission-only basis. That's the most important part, and you need to incentivize them properly. Right? You need to train them up properly, make sure they know your product front and back, make sure that they know how to sell it, make sure that they know about your client avatar, and then, of course, incentivize them properly so they're actually motivated to go out there and close sales for your company. Now, the next most important thing is actually building foundations for growth, right? You can't build a house without a foundation. And so this is one of the most important things that we focused on in the early days of Shop Accelerator, making sure that we had a foundation. If we were just selling for the sake of selling, we could probably be at like $250,000 a month right now, no problem. But the reason that we're scaling a little bit slower than we could be is because we're building a foundation for growth. So we're building a foundation of systems, processes, team, everything else that's important for an agency to be able to scale, right? So we're building that foundation. So now we have that foundation pretty much built about 6 months in, and we can scale up to $150,000, $200,000 a month very easily. Now, the next thing is keeping your churn low. So churn meaning losing clients, you want to keep that as low as possible. Of course, that goes without saying, but how do you actually do it? How do you actually keep your churn low? Now, there's a few things that you're going to want to do to make sure that your clients are not leaving you. Obviously, first and foremost is have a good product, right? Have a good product that actually gets them results. That's the most obvious thing. Now, there are other things. If you have a great product, you're still going to lose clients. It's inevitable. But how do you avoid it beyond just having a good product? The second thing is communication. You want to have consistent and very, very fast communication with your clients. And now, you can't really do this yourself. Like I said, when you're doing $30,000 to $50,000 a month, that's when client communication becomes a little bit more difficult. So that's why you want to hire people that are going to be in direct communication with your clients at all times, whether that's a client sales specialist or a client success manager, whatever you want to call that. You need somebody who literally specializes in talking to your clients on a day-to-day basis, because communication is definitely the second most important thing besides having a good product. And now the third thing is perceived value, right? You could be getting great results for your clients, but if they don't know that you're getting great results for them, or if they're not really keeping tabs on it, then you might seem like an expense to them. So that's one of the most important things that we found, is actually having perceived value. So telling your client when a new lead comes in, telling your client when you've generated them revenue, sending them detailed breakdowns and reporting, which also kind of goes back to communication. That's something that we found really helps with churn, really helps with building up that client trust and those relationships between you and your clients. And now, lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is bringing in new business, right? Any marketing agency, any SMMA business, or really any business of that matter, or really any business for that matter, needs to have a proper inbound leads system, right? If you guys are not having prospects book appointments with you, book demo calls, or book sales consultations with you, your business is going to fail. That's just how it is. If you're not getting new customers in, your business is going to fail. Right? You can build up a nice client list, but clients have a life cycle. They're going to come and go. You need to constantly have an influx of new business coming in addition to making sure that your churn is low and that you're making your current clients happy, right? So it's kind of a balancing act. But for us, we've found a system that works. So we book demo calls, right? Somebody comes in, they want to learn more about Shop Accelerator. We have a system for booking consistent and scalable demo calls, and we can literally turn it on like a water faucet. If we want 10 in a day or we want 20 in a day, we can do that. It's just about spending money on paid ads in the right places and making sure that all of your systems are dialed in for inbound prospecting, right? And so that's one of the most important things as an agency owner. You need to identify your target market, figure out how and what they're looking for, how you're going to find them and what they're looking for, and then make sure that you get in contact with them somehow. Whether they're filling out a lead form, whether they're booking a call with you, whether you're visiting them in person, it really doesn't matter as long as you have a consistent and predictable way to talk to clients. Now, of course, with the pandemic and everything going on, you're going to want to make sure that that's done online. So one of the best ways to do that is actually through that demo booking process that I talked about. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video about that specifically. Just drop a comment down below. I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. But with that being said, that is how we scaled from $0 to $50,000 a month in 6 months and 0 to 6 figures a year in like 7 or 8 days, is by building out those systems, following that guideline that I just laid out for you. And like I said, guys, if you want me to dive in on any of those topics deeper in a future video, just drop a comment down below. Let me know. If you could also drop a like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. It really keeps me motivated to make content here on YouTube. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.